All right, welcome to the show. My name is Lee, and this is Midweek Mind Check, where we get into mental health issues and, of course, break the stereotypes surrounding mental health. This morning, to talk to me more about whether or not reels, are propagating healthy mental health into talks, is Raushni Khanna, who is a mental health professional. Raushni, hi, how are you doing?
Hi, I'm doing great. Thank you for having me.
Thank you for taking time off to talk to me as well. Now, tell me more about yourself and your journey into the mental health space.
Yeah, so as you said, I'm a mental health professional. I'm a therapist, and I've been in this field for the last 3 years almost. I primarily work with clients between the ages of 18 to 40 as of now. My clients are mostly between the ages of 20 to 35. I deal with issues related to self esteem, romantic relationships, marital and family issues, work, career guidance, body image issues, and all of that. My profession has actually been very, very fulfilling and very healing for me as well. At the same time, it's a very exhausting profession because I'm also, again, constantly listening to people and their problems. Uh,
Yeah.
but I'm also really glad that I think there's a lot more awareness today about mental health, and I'm really glad that y'all are also, doing this segment because I think it's reaching to a lot more number of people out there. So it's creating more access. And yeah, I'm really looking forward to this conversation with you. Is there anything more that you want to know about me
No,
before?
no, that's perfect actually. So you said you were in, you went to Christ as well to do your masters as well. So
Yes.
I know what you're talking about because I'm a Christed as well. I know when Christers talk about things, we know what you're talking about.
Yeah, I think you're trained to like really know what you're speaking. You
Yeah,
can't bullshit your way through.
definitely,
Uh,
definitely.
yeah.
Now, my main focus on this episode is to talk about, reels and social media with effect to mental health. Now, sometimes we see so many mental health reels coming up on social media. Recently, for some reason, my feed has been flooded with ADHD reels, and that's made me think I have ADHD, and I'm like, maybe this is what I do, So, I want to get into this whether we're not, whether it's healthy to have this, whether it's a good idea or not, and because you don't have, professionals talking about it. You have anybody and anybody talking about it, right? So let me get into the first question, which is: do mental health reels and videos actually lead to a misdiagnosis?
I feel like again, yes and no. Firstly, I want to say
Okay.
that I also have a social media account
Yeah.
on Instagram, and I talk about my experiences. I also take vignettes from clients' experiences. I, of course, don't reveal their identities, but I speak
Yeah.
about different client stories as well. And I feel like while today social media has given us the platform to create more access to mental health and to also like connect with mental health professionals and stuff like that, I feel like sometimes it can also be a hindrance. Like you said, it can also create misdiagnosis. For example, like you yourself said, I have a lot of clients who reach out to me saying that, I think I have ADHD, or I think I have an anxiety disorder, or I think I'm majorly depressed because I've seen some post on Instagram. And while for some clients it is beneficial to know that, okay, I might have ADHD or I might have symptoms of ADHD. And now that I know this and I'm aware of this, I want to do something about this. For some other clients, it can also be very scary. I think it can also be
Yeah.
very overwhelming to realize that, okay, I think there's something wrong with me. And because the whole story is not put on social media, there's only a gist of what ADHD might
Yeah.
be, or it might be unique to one person's perspective, but it might not be relevant to someone else. So I think in that way, it can also create a lot of fear amongst people. And even when clients come with issues like that, I ask them firstly what their fear is about, like if they have ADHD as well. And secondly, for them also to gain a little more reassurance, I ask them if meeting a psychiatrist or a clinical psychologist and actually getting diagnosed will be helpful. Because again, like I'm saying, the process of going through an assessment of what you might have with ADHD, rather than what you're just seeing on social media with the little post that you're seeing, will actually be very different, right? So I think again, to answer your question, yes and no. Sometimes it can lead to misdiagnosis, whereas sometimes I think it can be really helpful as well.
So you're saying that what should they do though? Suppose they see a reel and they say, okay, you know what? Maybe I relate to this a lot. This is what I do. Should they?
Yeah.
The best option would be to get professional help, right?
Definitely. I think it's always better to reach out to a therapist or a psychiatrist or something. But I think we also have to acknowledge that today, while there's more access and awareness to mental health and therapy and stuff like that, not everyone has the privilege also, to reach out to a therapist. And sometimes that can also be taken advantage of. Like you said, anyone and everyone is talking about mental health. And also, if you remember when Sushant Singh Rajput passed
Yeah.
away, there were a lot of influencers coming out and saying that, you can talk to me and stuff
Correct.
like that, which can actually be more harmful because they're not equipped to deal with client issues. So I think, like you're saying, the best thing would be to reach out to a therapist. But even if you can't reach out to a therapist, if you're aware of anyone who's going to therapy, or you're aware of a friend who's in psychology, or if you're aware of someone that you can talk to about what you're dealing with, will be helpful rather than just being on Instagram or Googling it. Because, like I said, it might not be unique to the person's experience itself.
Right.
It can also
Right.
create a lot more fear.
Definitely, definitely. My next question would be, can this constant exposure to such content make people really believe that they have issues that they are not? Like, it's a misdiagnosis by itself, but also sometimes they can create these issues for themselves.
Yeah.
Also, right?
Yeah, for sure. I like, for example, I actually had a client recently who reached out again saying that, I'm very sure I have ADHD because I'm not able to focus and I'm not able to concentrate at work and stuff like that. And
Yeah.
as we started and we dig deeper and we went through the sessions, the first couple of sessions, we realized that what she was going through was not ADHD, but she was just having a sense of meaninglessness and uh, purposelessness in her job itself. So that's why she was not able to focus. So that's why she was not finding the motivation to go to work and stuff like that. So I feel like definitely sometimes you can assume that you have something because you relate with certain traits, but it might not actually be the problem in itself. It might be something else.
Right. Right. And but it's so hard to distinguish from the content creators that are making content for the good of people, or the other ones who are also just doing it for the clout, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
How do we sift through that on Instagram and other social media platforms?
Uh, Honestly, I don't know. I think just uh, if like a professional has mentioned their qualification somewhere, or if you're aware of other people who are following them, or if you feel like their content is actually legitimate, then I think maybe you should follow or take their content more seriously. But honestly, I think there are so many people out there who are talking about various things. I think sometimes
Yeah.
it becomes difficult to actually understand the difference. And like I said, because a lot of people don't have the access or the privilege to go to therapy, there are people out there who are actually taking advantage of that as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah,
Definitely, and that's kind of scary as well. Like for mental health, it's not like a small topic or a light topic by any means. It's a heavy one, and I think the continuous conversation is important, but the right one as well, which is what I want to try and bring about as well. Try and get people to understand that okay, you should be making content as long as you know what you're talking about,
yeah.
because I think half information, half knowledge is way worse than no knowledge at all.